Hey guys, I'm not by myself.
Still.
Shut up! This is my third time trying to do this video.
Can I tell them the name of the video?
No.
No, like the name of the video we're about to watch.
So
We're about to watch a video called 10 People Who Survived the Impossible.
Yep.
This guy's head looks so weird. It look like his head go like this.
I'm about to freaking block the notifications if they don't.
Stephanie, look, his head go like this. Look.
Wait, do that again. She was like,
No, that's how Merlin's head is.
Okay, let's continue.
The guy's head's like, what?
Let me continue eating.
But I can't cut through my skull, so like, sure.
10 people who survived the impossible.
Okay.
Number 10, Michalina Lewandowska. When a relationship seems to be fizzling out, most people would sit down with their significant other to tell them it's not going to work. At the very least, they'd send them a breakup text and tell them it's not you, it's me. Not factory worker Marcin Kazprzak. Marcin had grown tired of his fiancée Michalina Lewandowska and decided he wanted her out of the way. Assisted by his friend Patrick Bors, Marcin used a 300,000 volt taser gun to attack Michalina. He then bound her hands and feet and forced her into a cardboard box. They buried a still conscious Michalina in a shallow grave in some remote woods on the outskirts of Huddersfield, England. She was then left to suffocate and die. They also used her bank card to withdraw £500 of her money, but Michalina was having none of it. She used her engagement ring to cut loose her bonds and then claw herself free of the grave. Unsurprisingly, the ordeal left her with severe PTSD, but justice was...
PTSD means a lot of stress.
Yeah, like very bad stress. We looked that up last night.
done, and both attackers received 20 years behind bars for their
It
barbaric
should have been a
crime.
life sentence though.
Number
They're trying
9,
to murder
Matthew
someone.
Croucher. In 2008,
Oh, that
Marine
one.
Lance Corporal Matthew Croucher not only survived the unbelievable, but he became a national hero in the process. During a reconnaissance mission in the notoriously dangerous Helmand province in Afghanistan, he felt a tripwire against his leg. He immediately recognized that he had inadvertently activated a Taliban grenade. Without a second thought, he shouted for his comrades to get out of the way and launched himself at the grenade. He managed to place his rucksack between the bomb and his body and tucked his legs to his chest to protect the...
It's so fun.
from the oncoming blast. He was thrown into the air from the force of the explosion, but apart from a
Everybody,
nosebleed and
is she
burst
funny or
eardrums,
not? I
he
think
was
she's
miraculously
horribly retarded.
unharmed.
Comment down
It is
below
thought
if
that,
it's
were it
funny
not for Croucher's
or
selfless actions, he and the other 3 members of his patrol would have certainly been within lethal range of the explosion. He was awarded the George Cross by Queen Elizabeth II in recognition of his incredible bravery.
Running from a little puppy.
Number 8, Bahia Bakari.
You
Being
never
involved
did
in a plane
the
crash is a lot of
No,
people's
puppy,
worst
we're
nightmare,
by the
but for 14-year-old Bahia Bakari, it became a horrifying reality.
That dog saw me a million times. Just watch the dang video. If you continue acting like that, that's when I'm not gonna. Sorry, guys.
On June 30th, 2009, Bahia was on board Yemenia Flight 626, flying from Yemen to Comoros with her
I
mother.
don't know.
Tragically, the plane lost control over the Indian Ocean and plummeted into the water with an almighty crash. Bahia was thrown from the aircraft. Unable to swim and without a life jacket, she thankfully managed to stay afloat by grabbing hold of a piece of debris. At first, she could hear the faint cries of other survivors, but after a few hours clinging to the debris, they all began to fade. It wasn't until 9 excruciatingly long hours later that a search ship arrived at the scene and helped Bahia to safety.
I wonder how
She had
infected you
numerous
hurt.
broken
That's
bones,
what
including
I
a
was
fractured
thinking
pelvis
last
and
night.
collarbone. Luckily, she made a full recovery and left hospital just over 3 weeks later. Sadly, the 152 other people on board the plane perished in the disaster, including Bahia's mother. Number
I can't
7,
believe my
Robert
life without
Evans.
my mom.
Think you're unlucky? Try
said
being
that
Robert
last
Evans.
night.
One evening in September 2008, 46-year-old Evans was
Oh,
riding his
this
bike
is the
along the
one.
roads of
The
Boulder,
one
Colorado,
thing.
when he was
This
hit by a
is the
speeding
one,
car. The
y'all.
driver of that car then
This is
fled the
actually
scene
the
and was
freaking
never
impossible.
caught. Evans was taken to Boulder Community Hospital for treatment. Luckily, he wasn't very badly injured, so he was discharged at 3 a.m. the following day. On his way back home, he chose to take a risky shortcut through a narrow railroad bridge. Big mistake. Less than 8 hours after being hit by a car, a coal train ploughed straight into Evans. He was thrown over 4 meters off the bridge and ended up straight back in the
And
exact
watch.
same hospital he had just come
Watch.
from. Amazingly,
Watch this
he
part.
survived both major incidents
With
little
the
more than a
slight
slight concussion. Number 6, Carlos Rodriguez.
Oh,
When
the
Carlos
big
Rodriguez was
dickhead
arrested
boy.
in 2012 for allegedly soliciting prostitution, his alarming mugshot quickly went viral. It's not that unusual when you look at him here facing forward, but when he turns to the side, you can see he's missing quite a large section of his skull. According to Carlos, nicknamed Harvey for obvious reasons, he gained his unique appearance following a car accident when he was 14. He was driving
I see why
recklessly in
his
Miami
name is
following a
Harvey.
major alcohol and drugs binge. Unsurprisingly,
He's
he lost
14
control
and
of the
drinking
vehicle,
alcohol
flew through the
and
windscreen, and landed headfirst
And
on the
drugs.
road. He was only able to survive thanks to surgeons who cut away large chunks of flesh and bone to alleviate pressure on his brain. If that's not going to put you off driving under the influence of drinking drugs, nothing will.
Brain out.
Number 5, Peter Skalberg. When 44-year-old Peter Skalberg from Sweden went missing in December 2011, his family feared
Oh,
the
that
worst.
one.
There was no sign of him for over 2 months until a passerby discovered a car completely buried beneath the snowdrift. The passerby scraped snow from the windscreen and was astounded to see movement inside the car. It turned out that Peter had been completely trapped inside his vehicle for all that time, the weight of the snow forcing his door shut. He had no food or water and had to survive by eating snow while temperatures plummeted to -3 degrees centigrade while he slept on the back seat of his car.
-3
Doctors are completely stumped as to how on earth he survived for so long in these conditions. Dr. Stefan Branith from Uppsala University hypothesized that his metabolism may have slowed down like a bear that hibernates, making it easier to go without food. It's also thought that his car created an igloo effect that insulated him from the bitter temperatures. Luckily, Peter made a full recovery following his ordeal. Number 4, Matthew Allen. It's not unusual for teenagers to run away from home, but the story of 18-year-old Matthew Allen from Australia is utterly bizarre. Matthew, who suffers from learning difficulties, left his family home in December 2012 on what he described as a survival mission. He had very little food or water with him and was entirely alone. His description turned out to be incredibly accurate, as he ended up spending over 9 weeks in the most grueling conditions imaginable. While his friends, family and neighbours searched far and wide for the young adventurer, he disappeared into the harsh Australian outback. During his ordeal, Australia experienced a record-breaking heatwave, with temperatures reaching a sweltering 48 degrees Celsius. When Matthew was eventually found by hikers, he was lying exhausted on the floor. He had lost half his body weight, was suffering from partial blindness and gangrene, and leeches had begun to eat away at his lower legs. He was treated in hospital in Sydney and managed to make a full recovery. However, doctors believe that he would have died within hours had he not been found when he was. Number 3, Sir Adrian Carton de
this
Weert.
video, you're gonna be so
British
embarrassed.
Army officer Sir Adrian Carton de Weert has gained a reputation as the unkillable soldier, and rightly so. He fought in 3 major conflicts across 6 decades: the Boer War, World War I, and World War II. During this time, he was shot in the face, head, stomach, ankle,
Okay,
leg,
this
hip,
one's
and ear.
impossible.
He lost an eye and an arm, as well as tearing
one's
off his
impossible.
own fingers when a surgeon refused to amputate them. And if that wasn't badass enough for you, reports from his comrades describe him pulling the pins out of grenades with his teeth and throwing them at the enemy with his good arm. This super soldier also survived 2 plane crashes and tunneled out of a prisoner of war camp. For his bravery and sheer stubbornness for life, he received various honours and medals, not least the Victoria Cross, the highest award of the UK honours system. He died peacefully in 1963,
He should have
aged
died from
83.
getting all those
Despite
shots.
becoming the
Bro.
most battle-scarred soldier in history, Carton de Weert wrote in his autobiography, "Frankly, I enjoyed the war. Each to their own, I suppose." Number 2, Adolf Sachs.
Oh,
Growing Growing up in Dinant, Belgium in the early 19th century, young Adolf Sachs was determined to set a new clumsiness record. During his childhood, he was involved in a number of serious accidents, each of which could have easily
somehow
ended his
didn't
life.
die.
These included falling from a 3-story building and hitting his head on the ground, drinking from a bowl of sulfuric acid, swallowing a pin, burning himself in a gunpowder explosion, falling onto a hot cast iron
I
frying
did
pan,
yesterday,
nearly being
but if-
suffocated by varnish,
you
and
go-
almost
if you
drowning in a
touch
river.
it,
Young
you're
Adolf was so
already dead.
ill-fortuned
Exactly.
that even his own mother once said he's a child condemned to misfortune. He won't live. There's nothing like the confidence and support of a loving parent, eh? But don't worry, things turned out all right for him in the end. Not only did he manage to live to an unexpectedly ripe old age of 79, but he went on to invent something you may have heard of, the saxophone.
He invented the saxophone.
Number 1, Todd Endris. The odds of getting attacked by a shark are 1 in almost 4 million. You're more likely to be killed falling out of bed or off a ladder. But unfortunately for Todd Endris in 2007, the odds were not in his favour. One sunny August day, he was surfing
Why
off
is
the
it
Australian
every day
coast
I say
when
this?
he was suddenly
I
and
smell
viciously
poop.
attacked by a huge 5-metre great white shark. The shark tried to bite
I'll
Todd's
tell y'all
body in
who
half
poofy
and
poop
ended
is.
up tearing
Ow!
off his
I
skin.
just freaking twisted
Todd
my
kept his
toe.
stomach tight to his surfboard, which doctors say was essential for protecting his internal organs and preventing even greater blood loss. Then, adding another twist to this dramatic story, he found himself surrounded by dolphins. A pod of bottlenose dolphins formed a protective ring around him, coming between Todd and the attacking great white. Todd lost a great amount of blood and had to undergo intense physical therapy, but he was, amazingly, back surfing just 6 weeks later. We hope you enjoyed these amazing survival stories.
I mean, this is the end of this video, but not the video that we're making. So you can say who Poofy Poof is.
Poofy Poop is Adam. I'm gonna say like his full name or no? Wait, I couldn't do that because like you had to make a fake name. Okay, so anyways, his name is Adam, and I'm not gonna say his last name, but he goes to school with us, and he's in 6th grade, and he's like, has
I
really,
was gonna say what school we go to.
he has
but-
really poofy hair.
Not that poofy, but he's white, cute, ocean eyes. So, if you go to my TikTok /Musically on Steffi Love God,
You're gonna see who he is.
and you're also gonna see me crying 3 a.m. because I thought he got expelled.
Press it. And he's her crush. And he hates her.
No, but when I was crying, remember? All he did was look at me. I don't know why. He hates me. I love it. I don't know what's that.
She hated him so much to where she liked him. Like that. I don't know how you like him.
Factsverse presents
Oh, this
the shocking death of a 3-year-old boy. 3-year-old boy loses his life during sleep. Weeks later, doctors make a shocking discovery. In 2016, Brian Andrew, Jasmine's 3-year-old son, contracted chickenpox. Besides the mild neck pain and inflammation, Brian did not exhibit any severe symptoms. Jasmine, 23 years old at the time, decided to take the boy and his brother Austin to their grandmother's house. The last thing Jasmine wanted was for Ivan, their youngest baby, to contract the disease. Austin had been diagnosed with chickenpox before, but he was able to shake it off without any serious complications, so Jasmine assumed that the same sequence would reoccur with Brian Andrew. Unfortunately, the situation got out of hand, and the boy lost his life during sleep. Weeks later, doctors made a shocking discovery, and now Jasmine wants the entire world to know. For Jasmine and her 21-year-old spouse, Josh, life was fulfilling. Blessed with 3 beautiful children, the future looked bright and full of adventure. However, the loss of Brian brought their entire world crashing down. Chickenpox is considered to be a normal illness in young children, so Brian's condition seemed like a minor blip, and he was expected to recover soon. Jasmine's decision to leave Brian and his older sibling Austin at their grandmother's place was intended to prevent Ivan, her youngest son, from
You already know
contracting
my
the
birthday,
disease.
but you don't know.
However, the next morning, Brian's mother was informed that her young boy didn't wake up. The grandmother had tried in vain to wake
They
up
already know
Brian.
the first video.
Jasmine's first reaction was to quickly call the paramedics. The paramedics got to the scene as fast as possible, but it was too late. Brian had already lost his life during sleep. The parents were perplexed. Jasmine disclosed
Never
to the
been
Daily
this
Mail
retarded
that
before.
Brian was full of energy. He was happy, laughing and running around the day before. Why the boy suddenly died was a complete mystery to them. The mother clearly recalls the last words her little boy uttered to her. "I love you, Mom."
If you don't
The loss of Brian
know,
was a big blow to Jasmine's family. They struggled to understand how Brian suddenly died without exhibiting any serious symptoms. However, 3 weeks later, they were finally able to understand what caused Andrew's demise. The doctor's autopsy report revealed that Brian had contracted a rare
After
and
this video,
aggressive
we're doing
variation of septicemia through Staphylococcus. Septicemia is a condition that occurs when a bacterial infection from a portion of skin, lung, or other body part enters the bloodstream. Once in the bloodstream, the bacteria and their toxins can be carried to your entire body, further aggravating your health
There's
condition.
this part that I hate.
Septicemia is a life-threatening condition and must be treated in a hospital.
You're gonna be
Prevention,
so disgusted
early
after
diagnosis,
you
and treatment of sepsis are the best ways to counter sepsis and the problems it
after you
causes.
see a part.
Early symptoms of sepsis may include breathing problems, patches of discolored skin, decreased urination, low platelet count, and changes in mental ability. However, these symptoms are not easy to detect, especially among small children. According to health experts, people with mild sepsis can recover if the condition is detected and treated early. However, there is a 50% mortality rate
Did you just
for
say
people with
Torridios?
severe sepsis that is not detected early. The most common form of staph infection is the boil. Boils are essentially a
the part
pocket of
that I
pus
already
that
hate
develops
has.
around hair follicles or oil glands. When the boils
Ah,
are burst
there it is.
open, they drain
Oh
the
my God.
pus, leaving openings
Oh
that
my God.
provide entry for
I
bacteria
swear.
and toxins.
Ah!
So how did Brian get the infection? The boy contracted sepsis by scratching his chickenpox blisters. Chickenpox is a highly contagious viral infection that
There's
does
another
cause
part.
itchy, blister-like rashes on the patient's skin.
Not
The rash can appear in the form of blisters, red bumps, and scabs. Scratching and scraping at those blisters leaves the skin vulnerable to bacterial infections, which in turn enter the bloodstream, leading to a condition known as blood poisoning. Since Brian was so small, his body was unable to put up a strong resistance, and the condition morphed into sepsis. Jasmine's only solace was that her son died peacefully in his sleep with no pain. Unfortunately for Jasmine, things soon took a turn for the worse. While still mourning the loss of her son, Jasmine soon discovered that she was 10
Did you
weeks
just
pregnant.
say?
Due to the stress and discomfort she was going through at the time, she suffered a miscarriage. She only found out about her condition after a terrible stomachache. She lost nearly 70% of blood in her body. Nurses were amazed at how she survived, but she believes Brian was watching over her. Jasmine now wants to raise an alarm about the unknown dangers of chickenpox. She encourages parents to pay more attention to the disease, an initiative she believes will save the lives of many children around the globe in the future. Subscribe for more.
So guys, now we're gonna do a freaking vlog because this retard wants to show herself off. And Poofy Poof, if you're watching, please, please don't hate me. I'm a very innocent girl.
And don't judge me by that picture that you saw of me. That's a really bad picture because Stephanie cut my hair out.
I did not cut your hair out. It just looked like you had a big dent.
Like that guy in this video.
Except with hair.
Ugh, I hate you.
Why are you at my sleepover then?
Look, I'm a nice person.
Oh, let's listen to one simple song.
What is it? Look at me.
No, if y'all hate this guy, then you might as well unsubscribe because if y'all don't know him, it's okay.
Yeah. If you don't like this song, just click off the video. Come on, subscribe. Stephanie, why are you doing this to your poor subscribers, making them get rid of you?
Tentacion fights a drug dealer. I'm trying to look for a song. Oh, one of my favorites.
This is like. Did you just say what I thought he said?
What?
Never mind.
No? What you thought he said?
I'm in pain. Wanna put 10 shots in my brain. I've been tripping about some things can't change. Switch at the same time.
I'm sad that he died.
Get a phone call. Girl that you
good
fuck
thing
with,
is,
kill herself. I was in summer with nobody help.
he's
And ever
with
since then,
Jocelyn
when I hate
Flores.
myself, wanna fucking end it. Pessimistic. All wanna see me when I pot the piss in. But niggas been inside about the grave, I'm digging.
A song about her, yeah, because she committed
Fucking
suicide.
sickening. At the same time, memories surface through the grapevine. But my uncle playing with a slip knot. Cause man, the stress got me fucked up. Been fucked up since a couple months they had a nigga locked up. I'll be feeling pain just
He's a better place for him.
I'm so numb. I'll be feeling pain. I'll be feeling pain just to hold on.
You know what? I have a better idea.
I'll be feeling.
Put some deodorant in here. I need to drink deodorant. Okay, guys. So the next vlog is gonna be about Tentacion songs.
Okay, so you guys, I'm not usually like this. I'm usually really good.
It's probably because you either just broke up or you're just so excited that this was our first sleepover. Sorry.
No,
Guys.
sometimes I actually do good like this. Like, I think something like messed up with my brain.
Okay, guys.
I
See
think I
y'all.
have brain disease.
See y'all in the next video.
I think when I die.
See y'all in the next video. Bye.